Well, that was a little embarrassing in that last video, but I'm going to keep it because whatever. And you can see the reason why my text was doing this, right, was because I was being dumb. And that's almost always the case. CSS isn't broken. There's not a bug in React. You're just forgetting something that you probably already know. And here we are. I just needed to have flex direction column because it defaults to flex direction row. And you can see the column looks like that. So now I've got my data display and I can see my cloud positions updating. In this video, we're going to make this hero position change. And this will be kind of a big one. So grab a cup of coffee and follow along. Here we go. So what we're going to do is, in our app, in that same left div, we're going to add a hero controls. And you know what? Let's go back to the overall diagram for a sec. So we've got our app that is stateful. We've got these guys on the right. We've got our data display. Now we're going to make this hero controller. And part of that is going to be a move button. Right? So we're going to have 4 of these move buttons that make up one hero controller, or most of one hero controller. Let's make the hero controller in this video, and then we'll wire it up in the next one. So for our hero controls, and let's just go ahead and make that. We'll make a folder called hero controls, and we'll make a component called hero controls. And we'll make a CSS file called hero controls .module.css. So our hero controls is going to be pretty simple, you know, again, but you know, just maybe a little bit more complicated than before, and maybe a little more interesting. So what we'll do is we'll import React. I don't know why you're doing that to me. Sometimes this just doesn't work. No. Okay, so we'll just import React from React. Wait, is this not a... Oh, that's why it's doing this to me. I'm in the wrong file. We can't write JavaScript and CSS that way. All right, so we'll import React from React, and we'll import styles just to get it out of the way from hero controls. .module.css. Now this is going to be again a stateless functional component, and it's going to return again a div. But actually, let's take a look at this. So I'm sure there's many different ways and probably better ways than I'm going to do this to write this, but to me the easiest way to make this configuration where we've got, you know, 1 on one line, 1 on one line, and then 2 on a line in the middle is to make this into 3 divs. And again, to make it a Flexbox container. So Flexbox container out here that then has these 3 different Flexbox containers. So sort of like this one, but this time we won't set the flex direction to column on these internal flex boxes. And if that doesn't make sense, let's just take a look at that. So we'll say div, and I'm going to go ahead and say class name equals styles.row. So that'll be a row will be a row and that'll be a row. And since you can see we're having this, our JSX is saying we can't have children, we can't have 3 children that are at the same depth, right? So we need to enclose these 3 in a parent. And now that's fine. So we can return these 3 divs as children of this parent div. And we'll just say this will be class name button container. And then inside of each one of these, we're gonna have a move button. And actually, in the case of this second one, we're going to have 2 move buttons, and in this one we'll have just the one. Right? So, you know, there's certainly ways we could elegantly iterate over, map over a list of these move buttons and all whatnot, but to me, since we've only got 4 and 2 of them need to be here and 1 there and 1 there, it's just easier to write it out. But your miles may vary, and I commend you if you decide to take a different approach. But for me, for now, it just makes sense to go ahead and write that by hand. And we'll make that button container, and we'll make that row. And just like before, we'll just have some flex boxes. So here, this is going to be display flex, and just like before, this wants to be a column, right? So it's going to hold the 3 divs into a column that we want to center. So we'll align those items to the center, because line items handles the orientation of the elements within the flex box on the axis that's perpendicular to the flex box. It's a little hard to explain, but again, this isn't a flex box video. If you want to learn more about Flexbox, there's a lot of great resources. And at some point, maybe I'll make a video as well. Oh, so we're line items, and we're justifying the content to the center. So this second Flexbox is going to be a row, flex direction row. That means these interior flex boxes, the stuff is going to go across like this. This flex box, the enclosing flex box, the stuff is going to go in a column. And when I say in a line item center, it means that you know, so the direction of these 1, 2, 3 is this way. We're lining items along this axis, the cross axis that I'm moving my mouse along. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it should work out for us. We'll see. Hero controls is not defined. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my app, and I need to bring this in. So move button is also not defined. You can see that we're going to need a move button, but I'm going to fix that hero controls first. We're going to say import hero controls. There we go. So now we'll get a new message. Move button is not defined. Let's fix that and make a move button. And we'll say move button, .js, and move button .module.css. And now our move button, we'll say import React, and we'll make this again. if most of your components are not stateless functional components, you're probably not writing good React code. So almost all the time, we're going to have stateless functional components, and only occasionally we'll have a class-based component. Only occasionally. So this is going to be this move button just to sort of get it started. We'll just give it this again will be a div that encloses a button. Oops. And that's pretty much all it needs to be, except that we're gonna need to add style. We're gonna need to add style, so for the colors, we need to add this text. But I think we'll do that in the next video. For now, let's just take a look at our app and see where we're at. So we should, we need to import the move button, so we're exporting it. And now in here controls, we'll say import move button. Great. So now that should go away. Here we are in our app, and what do we get? We get ding, 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 ding. Nice, huh? So we've got the starts of our buttons. We need to, first of all, give them some text and whatnot. And then we need to give them the ability to move the hero around, which should in turn change this hero position. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think this part will be, it's going to get increasingly interesting over the next couple of videos and challenging. So hold on to your hats. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You made it through the easy part. Now let's tackle the really cool stuff.